Very pleased to be joined by head basketball coach of the Trine University Thunder, Brooks Miller. Coach, how are you?
Doing good. Thanks, Andy. Thanks for having us here.
Congratulations on the start. I know it's been a crazy fall into the winter part of the season, but we're finally getting regular games now, and boys, your guys are really responding to that.
Yeah, it's been that way with them all year, I would say. We got off to a great start in October with practice, and then into November we had an opportunity to play an exhibition game when a lot of people didn't have that opportunity. And then we're able to play a couple other games in November that really got us going, and we found out a lot about our team. Then we went on pause. We had about 7 or 8 of them canceled, and then we had the break, and then we brought them back in January, and it was kind of like having a non-traditional season.
Right.
You know, I've always envied sports like football and baseball and softball when you could really just focus on your team during those time periods. And that's really what we did in the fall. And then we got back in January. We had a body of work to pull from and see what we really needed to get better at and what our strengths were. So it was really beneficial for our administration to allow us to be able to compete in the fall. And I think it's paid some dividends here early on.
You graduated Lang and Maurice and Marcus and so many points, so much talent from your class last year. I think people could fairly question, you know, what would this team look like with all of those guys gone, and yet it seems like you've picked up where they left off and even improved on it. How have you managed to kind of fill in those gaps with all of that talent graduating?
Well, this team is significantly different than that one. This team does a lot of little things that help you win basketball games in terms of not just putting the ball in the basket. We've won, I think, 4 or 5 of our games shooting under 30%. Last year's group, if we didn't shoot the ball well, we were going to have a really, really hard time winning. We didn't do, you know, we're averaging about 5 charges a game, taking them defensively. The communication, moving the ball side to side, shot selection is a significant strength of ours right now, and that's got to maintain because that can all change. But we're just really working at it at a daily thing, and this team is really close. They're very tight. They believe in each other. You know, we were after practice the other day. We went and lifted, and they were all over Coach Lehman because he didn't have enough exercises on the board to do. So I got back from recruiting trip. I told you, the one story. I'm back at 10 o'clock at night, right before we played Benedictine, and Nick Bowman's in there shooting. Brent Cox is in there lifting. Reese McGinsey blows out his shoes in practice the other day, and the next day Christian Knox has his shoes in his locker because they're the same size, and he knew he needed them. This is the most unselfish group, one of the most unselfish groups I've been around since I've been here.
Where can I get a Nick Bowman jersey for my kids, and would he sign one for me?
Well,
that's my question.
It's funny you say that because I told Champ, my son, that I'm going to get you one of those jerseys, and you're going to wear that with a ton of pride. But I could say that about all the guys. Right. You know, Nick happens to be scoring 23 a game and is our leader in a lot of ways. But we have a lot of leaders. It's not just Nick that helps us lead. His role right now is for us to score. You know, we talk about last year's team relative to this year's team. Nick is the perfect piece to this team because we get the ball side to side. So he's able to really take advantage of possession, scoring opportunities late in the clock, and we didn't get it side to side as well as we would like to last year. Defensively, he's an absolute playmaker. It's a shame in Elma he had 5 steals. I think he only got credit for 1, but he's probably averaging anywhere between 3.5, 4 steals a game. And last year, we didn't rotate as well. So this year we do. So when he does miss one, we're still in a good situation. So he brings a lot to our group, this group, and every team's always different. We did some great things last year too, but this year the team is just different. It's a different mold, and they have a lot of pride in each other. They have a lot of pride in our university, and I tell you, they can't thank our university and administration and maintenance people enough for providing these opportunities for them to continue on, and they're just really proud to be a part of Trine, and I think you see that when you watch them.
It's so cool to see Nick, who's an Angola kid, have this success here at Trine and MIAA Player of the Week. But you mentioned it, it's a full team effort, and right down the line the guys are battling. There's a new guy that people are seeing on our telecast named Emmanuel Magnaglo, and this is a kid who has been getting it done on both ends of the floor. I know he has a great story behind him too, but for a kid like him to come in and get acclimated to the college game so quickly, pretty impressive.
Well, he's a highly intelligent young man. He's a computer science engineering major. He speaks about 5 different languages. Wow. He's been over in the States that I'm aware of for the last 2 years. but he's just a very high-achieving young man. He takes information in very well. He's learned how to rotate. He's learned how to be a great teammate. Not that he wasn't before. I mean, he obviously came in as a great teammate, but he gels so well with our group and has brought a unique presence to what we do on the floor, but also in practice. He just comes in every day, absorbs information, he watches video, he gets better and better. And this team in general, they love video. You know, they're able to take one thing and that day go improve on it, which I think is really special.
I wish that I could talk about your entire team, but we don't have time for that today. But one other role player that I have that John Kay and I always get excited about is this guy, Carbaugh, who it seems like you just know the right time to insert him in the game. You've got a feel for what he brings to the table. And it feels like something good happens when that guy gets out there, whether it's a hustle play or whatever. It's nice to have guys like that can fill a role, isn't it?
Well, his toughness level is really special. He played for a great high school coach at Northside on a really high level, a state champion game. I think they got beat in the championship game, but really high level program. So he knows how to play. He knows how to contribute to success. We're at Calvin the other night and we're having a hard time stopping him. We put Carbaugh in. He takes a charge, takes an elbow to the head. He's got to get 7 staples in his head after the game or stitches, and it doesn't faze him. And he comes back to practice the next day and competes for an hour and a half, 2 hours in practice, and nothing changes. So he's brought a lot to our team in terms of toughness and what he's willing to do. But again, like we talked about, a lot of guys are contributing in those areas. But Nate does that. It's kind of like instant offense or instant defense. You just got to add a little playing time here and there.
2 last things for Coach Brooks Miller. I foresee a future when you get Bowman and Mignanglo and all of these young guys out, Reese McGinsey, these guys that just play, you know, like their heart is bursting right out of their chest. We're going to pack the MTI Center one day soon, maybe next fall, maybe next winter, and these kids are going to blow the roof off that place. It's going to be electric when our fans get to go and watch these kids play in person.
Well, I think they just are really going to value their passion and their togetherness. We happen to be 7-0 right now. We may come up short on the end of a scoring slate some night, but it's not going to be because they didn't play together. It's not going to be because they didn't compete hard, and it's not going to be because of anything intangible that they didn't attempt to do. So everybody's going to enjoy watching this team, and I talked to Dr. Brooks about that the other day. I said, you know, hopefully someday soon that can happen, but in the future, it's just they're really proud to what they represent.
Hope tomorrow night, our broadcast game here on the Trine Broadcasting Network. You told me before we went on the air, this is a steep challenge at home tomorrow night.
Significant. This is the hardest playing team in our league right now. They have arguably the best, most talented returning player in Preston Granger. He's entered the lineup the last 2 games. He missed the first game. But these guys play extremely hard. They're tough. They're together. Their enthusiasm, I think, is really unique. They're really excited to be out and playing. They didn't get a lot of opportunities in the fall. So we're really excited about this challenge. They're going to come in and they're going to be trying to get their 3rd win in a row on the road. They get a win at Calvin, at Albion, and now they're coming to our place. So we're going to have to play our best game. But we have to do that every night to get a win. And I think that our guys are prepared for that challenge in terms of knowing what they have to do. And again, it's not going to come down to how often we put it in the basket as much as how much we're able to accomplish together when we get in those battles. I continue to tell them, you know, what's special about this group is we got to win all these one-on-one battles, but it's not one-on-one, it's 1-on-5. Right. And this team really has embraced that. So that's going to be the excitement about tomorrow. They're a really great team. They're playing hard, they're playing well, and I think we are too.
Brooks Miller's Trine Thunder are 7-0, rolling into the matchup against Hope. All the best to you, Coach.
Thank you, Andy.